What's up everybody? Welcome back to the Soul Break. Thanks for stopping by my channel. So in my previous video, I promised you guys that I'll be putting out a pretty cool pickup video, and these actually came in the mail just now, and I really wanted to put out a quick review for you guys. Obviously this is the Air Jordan 1 in 85 in the neutral gray colorway. And obviously I did not pay retail to cop these. There was absolutely no version of me copying these for retail, and I had to pay that resale money for this to, you know, to add to my collection. So yeah, these released last week, I believe, and I bought these off of a resale platform in my home country, and they just arrived in the mail today, so I'm really excited. Now, I was actually a little split on this model because, you know, like initially when I first heard of the rumors and first saw the mock-ups online, I was really excited, and I thought this was going to be an automatic cop for me because it was like the OG retro of an 85 release, you know, of a colorway that we have not seen in many years. So I thought, you know, this is a no-brainer. It's just going to be an automatic cop. But then I started to have like second thoughts because as I did more research online, and watched more reviews, I've been told that, you know, the naming of the two models are quite different because the actual OG model that released in 85 is called a natural gray versus how this is called a neutral gray. So I wasn't really sure why. I know that like people used to throw around both namings for the actual OG model, but it seemed quite strange for Jordan Brand to put the neutral gray naming on this model after having, you know, all of the special packaging and the special cut on this model. So I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for saying this, but it just kind of threw me off. And, you know, at that moment, I decided not to buy these for resale because I didn't want to pay that premium for a model that seemed quite sketchy. I mean, the aesthetics are pretty much on point with some like minor differences on the materials, but it just kind of threw me off, and I really didn't want to pay that like high premium because it was like these were gonna go through the roofs without any questions. But when the actual release took place, I've noticed that the resale price started to drop instantly. So I thought, you know what, like Jordan Brand has went the extra mile to put together a really cool model that, regardless of whether being like an actual OG retro or like just a lookalike, they did a good job of making this resemble as closely as possible to the OG retro or the OG release of 85. So I thought, you know, it might be a pretty good idea to have this as part of my collection, you know, if the resale price isn't too crazy. And this has a slightly higher retail price point compared to the OG or the Jordan 1 high models that we see these days, and the resale price right now is like maybe like twice its retail value. So I thought, you know, it really shouldn't be a big deal because considering like the dunks are going for like crazy amount of money these days, I thought this would be a reasonable pickup for my collection, and that is why I decided to cop this pair for resale. Now, once again, regardless of whether it be like the exact OG retro or not, I think Jordan Brand did a fantastic job of putting this model together, and I'm really excited to have this in my collection. So let's just dive right into the shoe here. Now, as the naming of or the color code of this model suggests, there's really not that much to talk about. As you can see, the side panel is done in this really crisp white leather. And then it is accented by this very smooth neutral gray Nike swoosh on the side. And I think the original like model from 85 does not use this type of material, but it's always nice to have some like premium feeling material on your Jordan 1s. So I'm not complaining. And maybe Jordan Brand wanted to kind of set both models apart from each other. And then here on the front area, we see more of that very crisp white leather on the toe box as well as on the mudguard. And I've heard people like complaining about the 85 cuts having kind of like poor leather or whatever, but I was surprised when I first pulled these out of the box, because honestly, the leather is quite nice. It's really smooth and pretty plush to the touch, and it doesn't feel cheap at all. I mean, it's obviously it's not anything like premium or whatever, but it's still a very plush leather, in my opinion. And then moving towards the top, you see that typical white cotton lace, factory laced here onto the eye stay. And then we've got that nylon tongue, all done in this crisp white with that slight tint of blue, which people have been talking about. But I'm not really complaining. It's gonna get like yellowed over the years anyways, so it's really not that big of a deal. And, oh, and I forgot to mention, but what I've noticed is that I think the 85 cut has like a narrower and tighter trim in terms of like the toe box area compared to the Air Jordan 1 high models that we see these days. So I guess that's a little design difference on this model. And then on the tongue, the top of the tongue, you see that Nike Air tongue tab with that ever so subtle shade of neutral gray used for that Nike Air embroidery. And what I've noticed is that this tongue tab seems a bit tighter compared to what we see on other Jordan 1 models these days, because I compared this to a different Jordan model that I have, and it seems like the recent releases have sort of like a wider or say like higher tongue tab. But yeah, that's just my observation of this particular model. And for the sock liner, we've got this neutral gray type of material here, like mesh material on the inside of the shoe. And then you've got that sizing printed here on the side of the sock liner, all done in white. And then you've got that kind of like coating on the side as well. And then obviously we also have that, let me just try to pull this out. This is actually the tab from the resale platform here. And then this is the 85 hang tag that they used to have on Jordan 1 models back in the day. I have no idea because I was not alive at that time. And then this also comes with an extra set of laces in this neutral gray colorway, but I think I prefer the white color over that those set of laces here. Anyways, on the ankle area of the shoe, you've got that ever so subtle shade of neutral gray used for the Air Jordan 1 Wings logo. This is actually embossed in a very kind of like a shiny gloss here. But I don't think the OG model had this sort of detail. I don't think it was like glossy at all. What I've seen on YouTube, it seems like the OG model actually had just like printed Wings logo on the side, and it wasn't glossy. It was kind of matte. It was a matte finish. And then here you see a small panel of that neutral gray suede material. And here on the ankle area, you see more of that suede here as well. And it's, once again, it's really smooth and very nice. And I've noticed that the QC on this pair is really, really nice. I'm guessing Jordan Brand did put a little bit more attention in terms of like detail and QC, because this is quite a special release. I mean, obviously it's a little different from the varsity or the reverse bred pair that we had, because that actually was like limited to 23,000 pairs worldwide, and it came with that special dust bag packaging. But this is not that limited, and it does not have the dust bag at all. And on the back of the shoe, we've got that really, really crisp white heel counter done in leather, and then that swoosh extends all the way back to the heel area of the shoe, and then all the stitching is done in this very, very, very clean white color. And then the medial side is basically the same deal. And the midsole is also this very white color, but what I've noticed is that this groovings are quite different from what we see on more recent Jordan 1 models. And I guess this is a little bit more I guess, closely emulated to the OG like 85 models from back in the day, but there's no way of me knowing. It's just like I saw it on like pictures online and whatnot. And then the outsole of the shoe is also very clean, and it's done in this gray color with the typical Air Jordan 1 traction pad in the front area. And then you also see that Nike branding, and then you see that kind of like groovings here in the mid part of the outsole as well. And then the back is also that's this typical Air Jordan 1 traction pad in the back. So once again, it's a really, really clean pair of sneakers. There's really nothing much to talk about, but then there's a lot to talk about because it being an 85 cut, I mean, it's so cool to have this piece in hand. And as you can see, the 85 cut is a little bit more like almost perpendicular to the midsole and the outsole area compared to the more recent releases where you got a kind of like a slight slope on the back of the shoe. So yeah, it's a really clean pair. And I also wanted to mention that, you know, this does have a little bit of a special something because it does come with this semi-transparent paper with like the red Jumpman logo as well as the 23 logo and the red Wings logo on this kind of like special paper used for the packaging. But yeah, that's basically it. You don't have that like whatchamacallit, the dust bags or whatever. Yeah, these are not limited to 23,000 pairs either. I know that Nike.com kind of screwed up in the beginning when they kind of like did a copy and paste for the product description, but yeah, that's just all rumors, and I think these are not numbered or whatever. So yeah, once again, I mean, this is a really, really special pickup for me. Resale price wasn't too crazy compared to what we were seeing on like a lot of different models. Wearability wise, it really shouldn't be a problem. This is just a plain white Air Jordan 1. So you can probably pull this off with any type of outfit. But in my case, I'm not planning on wearing these because A, I have a lot of Air Jordan 1s that I still need to wear in my collection. And B, I think this is more of like a collection piece for me. I'm never gonna have like an OG like 85 model from 1985. So this is like the closest that I could get to one of those models. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep this on ice, and I don't know, maybe if I feel like it, I could just bust them out in the future. But for now, they're just gonna stay on ice. And it's just a collection piece for me. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you enjoyed watching this video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel grow, and let's really try to get to 500 subscribers really soon. And I'll be putting more videos really soon if I can manage to cop more shoes for retail. So anyways, have a great weekend, and thanks for watching.